Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. Welcome to my final reaction video for Season 13 of Mystery Science Theater 3000 with The Christmas Dragon. Now, this, again, just like the last video, a long time coming, but I'm finally getting it done. This one, I do apologize, because there are a few editing things I had to do. I was sick, I think, when I was recording this. So first off, I'm breathing kind of heavy, so I apologize. That's kind of annoying. And clearly, my audio levels weren't right, where the movie was actually pretty quiet, and so I had to kind of chop it up a little bit to make sure the movie sounded okay versus my voice. So I wasn't really loud and the movie's really quiet. So I do apologize if the editing seems a little choppy or if the audio's a little annoying. I did my best and I do apologize. You know, I haven't watched, I don't think I've watched a single episode of this season since it came out, right? And so having to edit the bubble and then this today in this day and age, it did remind me just how painfully boring this season was. And it just I know I need to watch it again and do like a final big thoughts after having 2 years to let it ruminate. But like watching it, there's some stuff that I even forgot. Maybe I blacked it out on purpose, like what they do with the bots at the ending here. And I admit that I was wrong, that they weren't going to do anything with the ending, that the ending would just be a complete waste. But they haven't gotten another season, so it actually was kind of complete waste anyway. But yeah, leaving the bots behind is not cool. I don't know why they had to do that. I'm like, you can trick these Mads into almost anything. They're so friggin' dumb, and you can't find a way to get the bots on the same ship as the hosts. Like, okay. There's a couple little things that I do like that I mention in the video, as you'll see, but yeah, it was a rough season, man. And one of these days I have to watch it with you guys on Twitch to kind of, you know, sum it all up and maybe do an extra video after that, kind of go with these last two and kind of pair it up, finish it off. But, you know, it is what it is. So, but that's enough preamble, because I know I preamble in the video as well. So here it is, the final official reaction video for Mystery Science Theater Season 13 of the Gizmoplex, The Christmas Dragon. Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And welcome to my final main review of the Gizmoplex with episode 1313, The Christmas Dragon. So, another huge shout out and thank you to all the amazing people that donated to St. Jude, over $2,500, with Nightwing, Techno Dan, Frank, Rogue 2, Rich, Tommy Gun Servo, Mist Explorer, Curator of Entropy, Adam, Guido, Bleach Black Cat, Ryan, Roy, Jackie Ball, Donna, City Forever, Stuffy Wolf, Kevin Nata, Suro1991, Angry American, Roland, and the It in Fit. You guys are incredible, and I wanted to get that positive stuff out of the way, because I am not sure about how I feel about this episode even existing, let alone how it's going to turn out. So, also, just to think, I woke up, checked my email, and I had a very interesting comment from Gentle Hum, who is Gentle Hum here on YouTube, I believe is Monkey Pretzel on Twitch, that I'm going to summarize, because it's very long, but that's okay, because I'm glad I had all the info, man. This was on my Million Eyes of Sumeru reaction of the Gizmoplex. Finally getting a chance to watch this. Glad I'm not the only one who gets so frustrated at these new episodes. Your comments on Joel inserting himself into the new show, despite insisting for 7 years now he's turning MST over to a new, younger generation to continue. Joel has never gotten over the fact that his show was stolen from him, not just by Jim, but the entire crew. So I'm reading this and I'm like, I knew he was mad at Jim, obviously, and I knew that there was some rough stuff like Kevin chose him and not, or Kevin chose, I'm sorry, Riff Tracks, and not him with Cinematic Titanic, right? And he gives a quote that Joel did this past spring. I missed how recent it was. He also stutters a lot in it, but I also stutter, so he goes, it wasn't working, and I didn't know what to do other than kind, you know, it was like this, it's the King Solomon story, right? And as soon as he said that, unquote for a second, as soon as he said that, I was like, are you really gonna fucking compare yourself to King Solomon? Okay. So he says, basically, in a really roundabout way, it's like cutting the baby in half, and he's like, well, I guess I'll just give it up and give it to Malin and them. I created the show and thought it was best for me to do at the time, but it wasn't at all, we weren't working it out. Let's see, I don't know if it was a maturity thing. If the situation had happened, let's see. If the situation had happened, I think I probably had a few tricks to work around it, but I didn't. And I didn't think the other guys were really backing me. The other partners, I think they were. I felt they were really backing Jim, so I didn't feel supported. Okay, that's the part that I want to focus on, because everyone thought, I always thought the story was basically Jim Mallon was being a jerk. And, like, I want to direct the movie, Joel can't direct it. That's what I always heard the story was that it mostly came down to who was going to direct the movie when and if it happened. And that Joel wanted to, and Jim was like, no, I'm the producer, whatever. I don't know whether or not that's true. That's just what I always heard. But here's the thing. He said, I didn't feel supported. For me, this goes one of three ways. Either A, he really wasn't, and the guys like, we're on Jim's side and not yours. In which case, like, I'm sorry, I believe everybody else then, that Jim was the one worth following, because, or like worth sticking up with instead of Joel. Because while I haven't met most of these guys, A, I think we know their work enough, but also I did meet Trace and Frank, and Trace especially just seemed so kind. I'm like, there's no way that if they picked Jim, they did it out of malice. Like, at least I would. Now, I could absolutely be wrong. This is just a fan's interpretation. But if everyone picks Jim instead of you, there's got to be something going on. If that's true, there's got to be something going on. Or the other two ways are either A, he's just lying because he wants everyone to be on his side and not theirs. I know a lot of you might, like, not you guys specifically, but a lot of people might say, like, but Joel, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, he's not above lying. He lied about inviting everybody. Why wouldn't he lie about this to get everyone on his side? And so there's that. Or he thinks he's not lying. And what I mean is he's projecting, where maybe people weren't just all on Jim's side. Maybe there was more of a divide. Maybe more of them were actually on Joel's side. But if they weren't doing exactly what he wanted, maybe he felt like they were not on his side. So it's either they really were and they probably had good reason, or like they were on Jim's side, probably had good reason, or they weren't actually picking him instead of Joel. Maybe there was more of a divide, or maybe they were on Joel's side and he's either lying for sympathy or literally didn't see it, like is blind to it. It took a long time, a lot of time, and a lot of long conversations with a lot of friends and therapists to kind of get it straightened out. Oh, I'm glad, like, if he actually sought help, that's great. Him dropping it in this interview does kind of make it sound like, oh, they fucked me up so bad I had to go to therapy, like, you know. And the thing that made the most sense for me was to come back to it. And when those guys had exhausted it and stopped it, laid kind of fallow for a while, that's when I started planning to bring it back. Other than the fact that, yeah, they stopped the show, it wasn't their choice, it was Sci-Fi's choice. And then within, 6 years, Mike Nelson decides to bring it back. Actually, they decided even earlier with the film crew, and that didn't work out. So then Mike takes it back and elevates it in terms of what they can riff and how they can riff and how often they can riff, to where now, in, 16 years, they've quadrupled the output of what this 10-year show did, And so that was the end of the quote, and then this is back to Gentle Home. It's not just that Joel wanted his show back. He wanted his show the way he could make it, and that's why we see the regression back to early Comedy Central era in the tone of season 13, and now quite literally in the finale plot as well. I'm very scared about going into this finale, with the exception of MJ, who's there basically as a sop to the fans, yes, and also because she's the only one left for post-era Joel who will work with him. In my opinion, Joel was extremely offended and hurt that MST3k became more successful and popular after he left. Oh, I absolutely agree. He's mad about that. I think he's actually mad about not just riff tracks. I think he might be mad about the Mads. The Mads are back. Because why would he be so definitively vengeful against Trace and Frank's characters in the show? I just feel like he didn't invite them. Trace seemed very hurt. And Bill just seemed annoyed that everyone was mad at them for no reason. I think that Trace was genuinely hurt by that, and so it just shows where Joel stands with them. I think he's sad that riffing could go on without him. I think that riff tracks, both now with the main trio, but also Bridget, Mary Jo, and with the Mads are back. Like, they're touring, and that's what Joel wanted to do anyway, was tour, right? And so all this, his Cinematic Titanic crew have gone on without him to riff in different forms, and I think he hates it. I think he hates that, and he hates that Mike became so good at what he was doing and so popular as well. The Joel stands, let's see, he's doing his best to try and erase the memory of the fact, in particular, by pretending this is what the show would have evolved into, and pretending it's a logical continuation, which it isn't. We all know that. The Joel stands will swear up and down this is great. It's the real Mystery Science. It's just the DIY show of the early 90s. But you, me, and a lot of others see that it isn't at all, because this is no longer made by a team of equals. It's made by Joel, his handpicked staff of yes people, and contract help hired more or less on the basis of how big a fan of Joel they are. Also, Joel comparing himself to Wise King Solomon in his quote above is pretty interesting. Right, Joel can't get over himself. Like, if he was hurt by what happened, I get it. Like, of course you'd be hurt about your baby being, taken over. And like they said, like I get it. Your baby being basically taken over and done just as well or better by other people. I get that would be devastating. I do. It's just that the way that he lies about a lot of things, it seems like, again, the thing that always sticks out to me that everyone forgets, or is like, that's not how it happened. I swear to God, original Kickstarter, everyone that's ever touched Mystery Science has been invited. All the old cast has been invited. And then after a couple weeks of harassment on Twitter for not joining him, Trace and Bill made it very clear they were not actually asked. So, and Trace was obviously very hurt because he had been doing things with Joel. He'd done recent Turkey Days at the time with Joel and Josh again. So it just shows to me that initially, when that happened, I was like, oh, so Joel's a scumbag. Like, I immediately was like, that's not right. That's not okay. And that's what turned me, especially, to be like, I don't like where this is going. I don't like this. Chrissy, wake up. That was my thoughts on it at the time. And the more that we see this show not improve, the more that we see the show kissing Joel's own ass now, especially in this season, the more that you kind of see what's going on. The fact that it shills its own live show, like, guys, like, that's not normal. This isn't YouTube, where it's like you have to show for your show because you're not gonna have a ton of marketing and stuff. You were a Netflix show, you didn't have to show your own live show. You just didn't. Like, it, ridiculous. Again, a live show that was, like, already happening or already done at the time. It's all ridiculous, but I wanted to get that out there because I thought that was an incredible comment from Jenna Hum, and I was taken aback by some of it. Same thing, it was the Solomon. She was like, it's like this Solomon. I was like, oh no. Anytime someone compares themselves positively to a biblical character, I'm like, okay, Meanwhile, I'm like, how David in half the Psalms is like, God, why don't you just kill me? I'm like, that Dave, yep. But that's the thing. It was weird. And to be like, they were on Jim's side, I'm like, were they? Are you lying? Or do you think they were? Just because they stayed with the show doesn't mean they were necessarily on Jim's side. Maybe they wanted to keep their jobs. Maybe it meant they loved the show and wanted to keep it going, the show with their friends, I don't know. This very long intro to a video, but I wanted to talk about that, get it out there because of how insane it was. But now we will get into it. We will get into the Christmas Dragon, which, for those that don't know, it is the last episode of the season. It is a triple host episode. So this, I think, is also going to be where all the hosts have a segment. The plot is going to come to a head. Again, my prediction is literally nothing will happen, or maybe Joel escapes somehow to get back to, like, the status quo. But we'll see. I don't like this idea at all. I think it's really stupid. I think, again, that Jonah and especially Emily needed to be able to stand on their own more instead of having to have Joel tag onto their stuff. I do not enjoy that at all. It's Joel just pushing himself into this where it doesn't belong, which is unfortunate. In this triple riffle holiday spectacular, had to be sure I read that right for a minute and I wasn't having like a stroke, all 3 test subjects and their bots must make it through a movie about a group of children who venture off to save the magic of Christmas and the Christmas dragon. Meanwhile, the test subjects gather together to put their top secret escape, I assume it's supposed to be like escape plan to use or whatever. Yeah, because you can't read that longer. Okay, I'm not looking forward, like I said, to the escape plan part. I'm tired and I don't want to watch this. Like, also, I tried to keep waiting for days where I was going to feel a little more positive and be like, you know what, it's going to be okay. I need to watch this and I'll watch it on a good day. And I'm still like, bruv, especially after that Gentle Home stuff, which I can't, man. I can't do it. Okay, so episode 1313, Le Christmas Dragon.
New percussive drive is set for the deep hurting. And it's the only example of music to energy converting.
Okay, wait. Well, so that looked like a dog chew, first of all. I'll say that I'm glad that they're, like, letting Jonah have that one thing. It's the only thing like this that exists.
Hey, amigo, here's hoping.
We'll reconvene later and... Oh, here comes the show open.
Hey, nice rhyming, Simon.
Oh my lord. They always have to be like, hey, great job. Wasn't that a good joke? Wasn't that a good minute? Stop it! Oh lordy. Of course Joel's in the middle. Not Emily, who it kind of should be, because if it was 1, 2, 3, it'd be Jonah, Emily, Joel. Looks like the movie itself is promising in how goofy it'll be.
Here are your hosts, Kinga and Max, with special guest star Dr. Cabal, the strange financier.
The guy who should be the main mad.
What you are about to witness is the first ever triple riffle extravaganza performed by 3 unwilling test subjects.
Bye.
Film crew riff tracks. I get it that they don't have bots in that, and they're trying to be like, oh, 3 human hosts, and I'm like, okay. Just because Mystery Science hasn't done it doesn't mean it ain't been done.
Hello, friends, and happy holidays. Not that we have those in the future. All of us from
See, he's so much better than them.
Your viewing of this holiday-themed season finale will dictate the future of MST3k, so no pressure.
Okay, I don't know how that's on me. If it is, can we just stop?
It creates, wait for it, perpetual motion machine. Oops.
That's brilliant. It'll change energy production far into the...
I get that they're stupid, okay? I get that they're stupid and that is the joke. I understand it, and that's fine 98% of the time. I grit my teeth and put up with it. But even in this purposefully bad invention exchange that the Mads are gonna fall for, they have to call Joel a fucking genius. Even in this, they have to call him brilliant. Ah!
Sure, but how do you explain away the violation of the law of conservation of energy?
Max, he fit his time limit. Don't get lost in the...
Wow, that was the most interesting thing Max has ever proposed.
Today's experiment answers the age-old question, wouldn't Middle-earth be better if it had a Santa? And the answer, it turns out, is no.
Fellas, this is it.
And so this is Christmas.
What have you done?
Sheesh. I hate that song. So this is Christmas. Well, I started with Emily's interesting. I would have thought it would go in, like, chronological order of how they appeared up here. My thing is, how are the other hosts and bots gonna know what's happened in the movie? That doesn't logically make any sense, but okay. I guess they did that with Quest of Delta Knights, too. How did Mike know what was going on? Nice to have a movie with such a good print, because it was 2014. Like, dang.
So that's God, huh?
Your in-flight movie is Cats.
Oh, no! So her family lives this close to where dragons are? They never knew? They never had to worry about it? Are they literally gonna get burned alive? The parents? What?! What?!
Your taxes.
Dang.
I would expect you to take the warning bells a little more seriously, Aiden. Especially with what happened to you.
Jesus! You're right?
Sister Lenore says stuff is ready.
Leave room for Father Christmas, you two.
How does he travel around the whole entire world and visit every child in one night?
In this little village, you probably only knew of 2 countries.
I'm not pretty.
The makeup's actually pretty damn good, though. Compared to a lot of the other movies they did, even newer ones, that's not bad.
Save Christmas.
I can't do that. I can't do it by myself.
Have all your
Oh,
ragtag
he's gone rabid.
adopted siblings or whatever do it. Ah!
Well, he called it a compass, but yes.
That's less believable than our British accents.
What are you all up to?
Can't we all just hang out? Fake mom?
Good morning, Miss Hannigan.
So far, it seems like a family had a bunch of kids and they're like, we want to make a dragon movie, here we go. You know, that's what it feels like. Ugly gypsy.
Whoever interpreted the Dead Sea Scrolls really dropped the ball on this one.
Oh boy.
Ah, sure, Macaulay Culkin and your...
Why is he having a cameo with somebody else? Okay, let me say, having anyone do a Nick Nolte impression when it's not Mike is really stupid, because Mike is really good at it. So I'm like, bruv, you like already set yourself up for failure.
Christmas dragon belching.
It just sounds like he has a cold. This does not sound like Nick Nolte at all. It was a waste of time.
To watch the next portion of the film, in which our heroes venture off to save Father Christmas and meet a fairly obvious Jack Sparrow ripoff along the way.
Ooh, fun.
Oh, man.
Hey.
You again?
Hey, just get rid of
I'm glad that these bots are getting sick of him as I am.
Come on, that cup's from IKEA.
Don't wake the other children.
They don't have speaking parts.
Houdini!
Haha.
They're gonna catch Prince in the wild.
Raspberry beret, the kind you ate.
So the kids already were able to set a trap? They've been out here 5 minutes.
Well, the best
Oh,
CGI
man.
is the kind you don't notice.
Tarantino shot.
Oh no.
And the knave in the back said everyone attack and it turned into a
No
cannibal
ball
blitz.
blitz.
He's gonna be so rich when he sells those kids.
This episode has been like so boring. We're halfway through. Don't remember a single joke. Like nothing is stuck out. It's like I'm paying more attention to like the movie itself than the riffs because like nothing is happening. It's not a good movie. Clearly it's not. But it has pretty high quality visuals and audio for a riff movie at all. Even for a 2014 one because of how clearly low budget and goofy it is. I don't know if the movie was made by a bunch of family and friends or people that were actually invested, because while it is boring and not much is happening, it's like pretty well made for what it is, for being so bad, you know what I mean? So far, I'm like more invested in that than the whole like we're gonna escape plot. Anyway.
Okay, let's revert back to our secret personas. This message goes out to Emily and Jonah. Before we all know it, the film's gonna end. How are you gonna break the news to your robot friends?
What?
Well, I'm not good at feelings, so I made them this card. Using my own words is simply too hard.
Okay, so they're abandoning their bots? What? No. Like, obviously it's gonna fail or something. But they never mentioned they're abandoning their bots. If they're gonna be on Joel's satellite, right? If I remember correctly, they said it'll all happen on Joel's satellite. I guess the point is the host will end up on Joel's ship to riff it. But, like, they're not gonna just put the bots on there, too. They can't, like, scoop them up when they get sucked up the tubes or something. With Emily, at least she's new, so, like, I guess you can only get so attached. But even canonically, Jonah's known these guys for, like, years. Are you really gonna have them, like, abandon them? Because if so, like, don't ruin Jonah like this for me. Don't do this, please. Shoot.
I want to do what's best. Just tell him the truth. Do anything less would be uncouth.
Aww. Well, okay. I'm glad that, because I was like, is Jonah just gonna abandon them? But, like, at least he's gonna tell them. But that still sucks! I don't like that!
Well, guys, I think it's time I finally explain. After we go our separate ways for this movie, we might not see each other for a while.
That's okay.
Aw.
There's gonna be another me around.
Is he gonna save them?
Said that's what this place was missing.
Are you gonna save them?
Oh, sure.
Like,
we need another Crow like we need another remake of Dirty, Rotten Scoundrel.
Say that to my face, gumball.
Look who's talking, Bowl and Beak.
You have doll hands.
Boys,
come on now, please.
Doll hands.
Car seat carrier. Okay.
The... Oh, but he was trying to tell him, he said for a while. Does he plan on saving them? Or was he lying? Because he was planning on saving them, but I'm like, oh, that's okay, that's at least good. But the way that he said it makes me think that might not be the intention, in which case I'm like, Jonah, no! Okay, but doesn't that say a lot that with Emily's bots, she has the first section, they don't even mention the fact that if her leaving means that the bots are going to be left behind. With Joel, doesn't matter at all. They're not even his bots. It only matters with Jonah. Did you really notice that? Like, that's the only one that got its own bit of a segment that's, like, him trying to, like, kind of apologize and tell them what's going on. Whereas she's like, I'm just gonna write a card and leave. And I'm just like, it's not anything, quote-unquote, against Emily, but Jonah is the only one that has, like, any kind of emotional arc attached to this at all. I think that says a lot about how well this season is written, or how well Joel and Emily's characters are written versus Jonah's character since the beginning, personally. And for those saying, well, Jonah's had 2 extra seasons, okay, go watch his first episode and go watch Emily's first episode, like, first full episode. Who do you know more about by the end of it? Who are you more attached to? Who do you more emotionally connect with? If it's Emily, then I'm like, dang, dude, you were seeing something in that writing that I am not. Because Jonah immediately is, like, shown up to be smart and selfless and all this good stuff. So it's like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
You're not gonna let the ogre eat that, right?
If it's that or you, I mean... Oh boy, let's see what the ogre looks like.
Welcome to Ogres! How's everyone doing today?
It looks more like an orc. Weird.
Man, Gary Oldman's good at everything.
Again, though, the makeup for this movie isn't bad. You know?
Show us how it works. Yeah, show us.
Shows how it works.
I actually know that I can make it work.
Well, he's not Father Christmas, so...
Wow,
Whoa!
must have got hit by an Apple RPG.
Birdemic level of CGI for a second there.
Imagine dragons.
Oh gosh.
We don't have a permit to film here.
Oh, the animation's so bad. Which sucks because the costuming and the makeup isn't that bad, like I said, other than the spiky hair being really stupid. But it's like, the kids actually look, like, dirty and run down. The monsters have actually had decent, like, prosthetics and stuff for a movie with clearly this type of a budget, right? But now, it's like, the CG is so bad. It's gonna be like in Rise of Skywalker, where she heals it with the Force.
Wait, hold on. Let me get this straight. In this world, there's ogres, dragons, and Santa Clauses, but no goblins?
Right, and elves, like, what?
Hope you asked Santa for an EpiPen.
Oh no, the Tracker Jacker's Katniss.
Just with this move.
Then you'll have to get through me first.
Honey.
You must not know who you're dealing with. We're the gang that was scared away by tweens in bark masks.
Wish I could whittle this into something threatening.
Even if it was just the one dude, I'd be like, bro, he had something to kill a dragon with. Who is this supposed to be?
Okay, so Eric's the party dude, Finn is cool but rude, Aiden leads, and I guess this lady does machines? Yep.
Sheesh. Love me a good Ninja Turtle reference. Is that her mom? I don't know. She's an elf, maybe? Or something. She has a pointed ear.
Found you the herbs you needed.
Serwin? Her name's Serwin? Or the writer used a Tolkien name generator or something?
Right. So some elves look like...
That guy's name is Eric Christmas.
No, it isn't. Is that what she said?
Father Christmas. By his son.
His son? What? Why does she look like a human just with pointed ears, but the other elf had a huge nose?
I may not have been completely honest.
Neither was the screenwriter.
You can pretty much do anything.
No, it can't.
What did you just call me?
Oh no.
We're going north. Catch up with us when you can.
Don't tell her that. She just said she couldn't survive up there. You insane? Oh, of course, quicksand. Always quicksand.
Yes, that backflip surely killed him.
And I thought you needed me.
I mean, she did. Otherwise, the wing wouldn't have healed. So I mean, it's you know.
Come on, let's give these kids something to talk to the therapist about.
Ew, no. Okay, let's see what happens to get the host together. 'Cause I don't care. It's almost over. It's almost over.
Yeah, okay, Ben's a pretty cool dude, but don't let him distract you for the real reason for the season.
Paganism?
Oh, you just had to go for it, Tom. Right there. Oh, man.
Also, Jonah was really gonna try to be like, hey, listen. I like that Jonah was like actually offended by that. Was like, I was gonna say Jesus. Wait. Okay, wait a minute. If this means that Emily gets to keep her bots and Jonah doesn't, I'm gonna...
This could be our Christmas card.
No! Okay, good. I was about to say, not fair!
You know, I'm really gonna miss it.
Oh, also, they totally had the other two, like, standing on boxes, or had Jonah standing in a trench. He's so much taller than both of them, there's no way! He was only, like, a couple inches taller than Joel. No, he's so tall. Wow.
Get the list from your father. Rand, wait, Finn, go help Sarah prepare the presents. Rosalind, you're with me.
Boy, two bronies are gonna be really happy this Christmas.
Right, we just need 2.2 billion more gifts and we're good to go.
Well, back then, granted, there would have been a lot less kids.
The children all smiled for Eric's repentance, but the Who's down in Whoville were hungry for vengeance.
Whoville, you will never find a more wretched hive of scum and Hoover.
Those orphans were delicious.
Once all the presents are delivered, we'll ring the town bell and everyone will be able
Honestly, why is this called the Christmas Dragon? She's barely in it.
Look, this can't be that much more work than they'd be doing in the mines.
Fair. That's absolutely fair. I guess I'd rather be doing this than that.
Tick, there is no Father Christmas.
What kind of priest are you?
Open your stupid present then, you jerk.
It's not from us. It's from him.
We like you for some reason now.
Yeah, right? Who's gonna sell us into the mines?
Isn't that the dragon alarm? Last time they heard this, people died.
Okay, everybody, be cool. There's been a home invasion.
It's weird how many, I will say this, very weird how many lines have been Emily's in this, or I would have said if this was an Emily episode, I would have thought it was Crow's voice. Because I can't tell the difference sometimes when Crow does a voice that sounds not like the, you know, Ash Ketchum super gravelly voice, but she sounds, when Kelsey makes Crow sound female, I mix them and Emily up sometimes. So some of these lines I would have sworn were Crow. If it had been an Emily episode, I would have sworn some of those lines were Crow, which is really weird.
I lost some good men and a good wagon. Time to repay me for the truck.
She is not going anywhere.
I was about to say, they're in front of a whole village.
You try to take her. That dragon will burn you to the ground.
It's a living.
I like she's like, oh, okay, I am.
Can't happen, can it? A good dragon is a dead dragon.
Crossbow slow-mo.
That would be enough to kill it. No shit!
Oh man, right in the face.
Oh, it did stop time. Okay.
Quicksilver's here to save the day. Oh, it's Father Christmas.
Dario Argento's Christmas.
Damn, she was gonna get right in the eye. Freaking Superman Returns.
And never, ever, ever return.
And if we do, you'll have to deal with us.
Well, yeah, a guy that can control time and a dragon.
I know how angry you must be.
It's all right. I'll forgive him.
Aw, well, I guess he is Santa, so.
I'll not forget what you've done for me. Said one, Eric.
They're all orphans. Can they go, like, help at the north and just live there with him?
I just thought after all this, we wouldn't have to go back to the orphanage.
That's not your home anymore.
Because taxes pay for orphanages.
Your home. It's with me now.
Okay, so at least her.
And that goes for the rest of
Okay, good. I was about to say, you're Santa. Can you please adopt these children? This actually makes him a better Santa than in, like, a lot of other movies where they're orphans and he's like, well, good luck, kids.
We can pick up Garrett along the way.
Aw, okay, good. They're gonna save the other kid. Burn them, dragon! Had very little to do with the dragon itself. But the movie itself was more interesting than the riff.
All right, you guys, everything in position?
Yes, percussive drive is ready to go, Robinson.
Okay.
Can Emily actually play the violin or not? I just want to know in real life. What? No! Okay, instead of... Like, they literally can't help themselves. They cannot fucking help themselves. In season 12, it was Idiot Control Now, and now it's the Sandy Claus song. They cannot help themselves but to reference classic episodes in musical form as if it's relevant. It's not. Why didn't they write their own? If they had written a song in Jonah's episode, they could have used it here. Like I always said about that Christmas episode, the one big thing I don't like about Jonah's Christmas episode is that there's no song. But instead of writing one, because this one also doesn't have its own song, just have the host write one. No, let's just... Okay. I'm gonna die. Okay, let's go. Oh, we like it very much. At least that's a season 8 reference. I mean, what about Growler and Waverly? You're gonna leave them too? All the bots are just left behind to friggin' die.
We did it, Max. Here's to the first.
How do they not notice?
Christmas host spectacular.
Tonight, we made history.
No, you didn't.
Now what?
I mean, technically, I guess for the show, but...
What? Joel, Jonah, and Emily are on the verge of escaping out of the time bag? Yes, I think you should do something. Get the half-tracks out there and stop them!
Yeah, can't they close the time bag? Right?
We don't have enough momentum. We're not gonna make it.
Oh no, come on, you
Play your drums faster!
pick up the pace.
Oh, I got it. Let's do Patrick Swayze Christmas. That'll give us the...
Oh my god! I'm gonna... Ah!
Here we go. Ready?
No, Patrick Swayze is slower.
Open up your heart and let the Patrick...
I am gonna fucking die. I can't believe they're doing this once again. All they need to do is pander to the old fans, and then they actually worship Joel and lick his fucking feet. I just can't do this!
Oh no, something's
Why are they going down?
Oh, there must be something wrong.
I thought it was the drums, right?
Maybe the percussive drive.
I was about to say, why don't all three of them have drumsticks, so there's 6 drumsticks going? You're like, brrr.
Are we TiVoing this?
TiVo? How old are you?
Also, we're all being left behind. I knew it wouldn't work. I was like, at most, Joel will somehow escape to make, like, the status quo normal, but I don't even know if that's gonna happen.
Ready the Christmas dragon.
So what happened to the thrust, though? Like, why didn't it work, though?
You guys know O Holy Night?
Oh, Joel, that's too slow.
Not the way the
Right.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra does it. Count me off.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Fall on your knees.
That's still too slow! Patrick Swayze Christmas also wasn't that fast. They played it faster. So you could be like, brrr. Like, there's fast Christmas songs. Also, you can speed up any song you want. As someone that plays some music, yes, you can just play something faster. I can't. Play Linus and Lucy. That's pretty quick and technically Christmas.
Not enough. We can work on the song in the future. You know?
Well, there's not gonna be any future.
Yeah, we're not gonna make it, guys. I can't go back there.
Well, you will. That's the most interesting thing Emily said. That she's like, I can't do this.
I only know the lyrics to Mike's.
Then let's do it.
What? Wait! I'm so confused. Like, they're like, pander, 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 pander. Christmas. Like, Christmas pander. Normal Christmas. I only know the lyrics to Mike's. Is that to try to pander to people like me? That are complaining about them not doing stuff with Mike? That are saying riff tracks back? Are you trying to pander to me? Well, guess what? That's not happening. That's not gonna work. It's... Wow, okay. Also, Mike had 3 different versions. No, I'm sorry, 4. Season 5 through 6, Deep 13 that has both Dr. Forrester and TV's Frank. Season 7, which is Dr. Forrester and Pearl Forrester. Seasons 8 through 9, which is them being chased by Pearl in the bus. And then Season 10, which is them being in Castle Forrester. So of those 4, which one are you talking about, hun? Also, they're playing Jonah's.
In the not too distant future, way down in deep.
Okay, so it's I assume season 5 and 6. If this works, they're literally trying to pander to me by like people like me by making Mike's theme song the one that works. Also, it's not even the best Mike theme song. Best one is season 10.
What? I'm right here. How are you? What? Oh, if you're here. Yeah. And who's in the?
Oh.
Grandma.
Oh my gosh!
Guess what? I can speak and hear rhyme, and I knew their mission this whole freaking time. I wanted to stop them, but couldn't protest. Once I heard where they're going, so off to Jazz Fest.
What did she say? I have no idea, but I know it's more trouble for us.
What? Okay. Damn it, because I know they're doing it for people like me. I am very happy that Pearl is like, I'm not as big a fucking idiot as you. I can understand what rhymes are. Okay. That I appreciate, that Pearl's like, I knew this whole time. And that she's actually aiding them. That's good. The Mike theme song, I think, is either a major pander to people like me that like Mike and wish he was here, or it's just funny because Joel doesn't know the words to his own theme song, I guess. But Pearl being able to understand rhyme and being able to go and being like, screw you, Kinga, is pretty, that's pretty good. Pretty good after how terrible they made her dialogue earlier in the season by like worshiping Kinga in the ground she walks on. That I can appreciate. I still think it's too little too late, but it is funny.
Waverly, go directly to the time bag and do not let them through!
That's what I thought they were going to do in the first place, was close it. How come that thing's that much faster? Stupid. Just go through it. Just...
This is all gonna
No, you won't.
Exciting, though.
Keep jamming, you two. We can give the deep hurting an extra push.
If you're wondering how he eats it.
Go, go. Again, just have... Why didn't they have the bots with them to like brrr on the drums? Just go. Oh, they let them through. Waverly and Growler, like what? Okay.
Here I come.
1981. Okay, stop.
I don't think I have the evil henchman gene in me.
Okay, good. I don't care. I'm glad. I love Growler. I'm glad he does it. Okay. Why the hell is it 1991? Because that makes no sense. Maybe it'll explain it, maybe it won't, because the credits are so effing long. Why 1991? They didn't kidnap Joel from 1991. They kidnapped Joel from like 3000, whatever the hell they said. I can't. They said it was 1,000 years in the future. So they kidnapped Joel from 3000. Why the hell would they go back to 1991? Okay.
We actually don't have any genes.
It's so bad. I don't even know why I'm gonna be bad. Oh my goodness.
Well, Kinga, you really dropped the ball on
Yes! Killer!
seeing to it that Gizmonic art ceases in
Yes!
loans for your so-called
Ha ha ha! Yes! Yes.
And don't think I forgot about the money you owe me. I expect
Ooh.
a check by the end of the month.
Damn! Did Dr. Cabal know this was gonna happen or not?
This is the worst season finale ever.
Oh, hey.
She's like smiling. Hasn't that happened before? Wasn't the dome on fire once already?
Stupid fun bag.
Crappy holidays.
And that's it. Again, a cliffhanger. Okay. Okay. Hang on, let me just double check that nothing is in these credits. Nope. I don't care about the stinger. Who gives a crap? Why does the show insist on doing this? Why does the show insist on cliffhangers that you know will go nowhere? Because it has happened over and over. Real quick, episode itself, piece of shit. That was a terrible episode. It was boring as hell. Like, literally, I don't think I had, like, a cracking up laugh at all, which even in bad season 13 episodes, I've had a cracking up moment. I don't know if I had one. If I did, and I edited it in here so you can see it, because I will, I don't remember it. It is so boring. Nothing in the riff is that good. It's just so flat. The movie is more interesting than the riff itself, and the movie isn't very good. It's very slow. It's very boring. But you can tell it was made by people that actually kind of cared, which is interesting. The people that actually had fun with this, I feel like. The costuming and makeup was actually way better than it had any right to be, given how bad the CGI was. So, that's that. The riff itself, not worth the digital pixels it is taking up on your screen. So, you have all these host segments. The only one that I cared about at all before the ending was the fact that Jonah was going to try to tell the bots what was happening. You know, I'm leaving, this is what's going to happen. He was the only one that cared enough to do that because Jonah is the only one of these three hosts that really matters as a character at all. They had a few chances with Emily. Emily, I think, got a little bit better as the season went on, but that's it. Her most interesting part was her being like, I can't go back. Like being Jessie from Toy Story 3, I can't do this again. Could have been fascinating. Or could be in the future. But here's the thing. The best part of the ending itself, in all that happened, which I'm sure you'll see a lot of it, because I had a lot of reaction to it, is Pearl being like, I'm not as friggin' stupid as you two. I knew what was going on, and I'm gonna help them. I was like, oh, like that is the one cool good thing that's happened like this whole effing season in terms of Pearl. Instead of her just worshiping Kinga, instead she's like, you know what, Kinga, screw you, I'm out. Which I'm like, thank you, I appreciate it. Too little too late, because you still were worshiping her feet, which is not okay. Stop doing this. Stop doing this. Like, Kinga and Joel are just like God's second friggin' coming, right? It's like Jesus' second coming is Joel and Kinga. So it's too little too late. I'm still highly annoyed by that. But I appreciate this. The Mike theme song thing, I think, was to pander to fans like me. I could be wrong. Maybe they just thought it was funny that Joel only knew the lyrics to Mike's. I think it's just, like, a pander. Also, again, there's 4 Mike ones, so... It just... The whole thing, though... The songs... Absolutely just pandering to the audience. With it being... What was the first one? The Santa Claus had no bearing at all. The other 2 shouldn't even know that song. At least not... from having experienced it. Patrick Swayze Christmas, the theme song, all this shit was just like, okay, not Waverly, Growler not doing the bad thing almost makes them being like the henchman kind of work, but it was never funny through the whole season, so it wasn't worth that because it never worked and it was never funny and it was never used for anything cool until this moment. So I'm like, it's a lot of wasted potential up until the end, and then potential's finally reached. But I don't think that makes up for, like, the really terrible scenes in, like, the last one, which is, like, hitting Waverly's head and stuff like that. But I appreciate that he let them through. But my biggest questions that aren't going to get answered, or if they do, it's going to be really quick and terrible, because that's what this series does. What's going to happen to all the bots? Because now there's, what, 6 of them, plus a bazillion cam bots, and then Waverly and Growler. So it's, yeah, 2 each of Crow, Tom, and Gyps. So you have these 6 bots that seem to think it was exciting. Okay, when before bots would have like existential crises about their hosts leaving them, these bots don't seem to care. They seem to actually be excited for them, which in a way, it's like, okay, that's kind of cool that they're like, hey, I'm glad they escaped. But then on the other side, it seemed more like they were just entertained by it. Like, which, again, though, it shows how little depth these bots have, because the original bots were like, oh no, Joel's gone. Mike, will you please never leave us? And I'm like, that is so much more interesting to add layers to these bots that these don't have. So that's an issue. And then, it just they're leaving, and they leave, and then it's 1991? Why is it 1991 on Earth? Because Joel, first of all, it's not his first season. That's not his last season. That's in the middle. That's like, I believe his last season was 93. So that's like season 3 is what we're talking about here. Season 3, let's say. The problem with that is, how is that relevant to either Emily or Jonah? It's not. Yes, they're on Earth, but it's years. Like, I wasn't even born yet in 1991. So how old are these guys? Let's see. I'm going to look it up. Okay, he's 40. He would have been like 9. And then how old is... Oh, what is her name? Emily... Shoot, what's her real name? What is Emily's real name? I don't know. I just realized I don't know Emily's real name, or I don't remember it. Emily Marsh. Okay. When were you born, honey? It doesn't say. I assume she's like around his age or younger. Literally does not tell me. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Oh, she's done puppetry before. That's cool. And then it doesn't tell me what Emily's age is. Fine. But either way, 1991 is way too early. That's not current. It's not when they left the Earth. So if she's like, what, in her 30s, let's say, she's like a child. Like, the year makes no sense. So why is it that year? Why would the time bag be set to that year also? Because the last time the time bag was used, I think, was when they grabbed Joel. And when they grabbed Joel, it was the year 3000 or some crap. So not only have they left Jonah and Emily's bots up there in space, but now Joel's bots are somewhere in the year 3000 alone, out in their like spacewalk or whatever. I guess technically it's the future, so it hasn't happened yet. I don't know. So there's that. And again, to Jonah and Emily, this is entirely irrelevant. They're like little kids. Like, they don't exist yet, like in this form. So 1991 doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help Joel, it doesn't help Jonah, it doesn't help Emily. I'm sure it's going to be some kind of stupid, oh, now 2 Joels exist, or something stupid. But I'm just like, there's no resolution for the bots. There's no actual resolution to this story at all, because you're like, 1991, why are they back that far? What's happening? That's not what the time bag was even set to. Did they do this on purpose? Was it an accident? The only good thing that happened with Kinga was that Dr. Cabal pulled the funding. Also, he's from the future, so wouldn't he know this happened? Either way, I'm glad that he didn't tell her and he let them lose the funding, because yay. But speaking of funding, though, that's the thing. When it was Netflix and they ended on a cliffhanger, they would have already been under contract for X amount of seasons, most likely. Or if not, they'd be like, look, can you guarantee us 2? Whatever. So them having a cliffhanger on Netflix, they probably knew when they wrote it that they would get at least 1 more season and could end it, like fix the cliffhanger, which they really didn't, but they knew they'd have the opportunity, right? This Gizmoplex is fully fan funded. So the problem is, because it's fan funded, did they make enough just in episode sales to justify the Gizmoplex still being open, or will they have another Kickstarter? Because I swear to God, if people fund it, if they ask for another Kickstarter, let alone if people fund it, I'm just like, they don't give a shit. Like, they literally don't care. You know what I mean? Even RiffTrax had to up its prices recently, I noticed. But they bring out stuff so much more consistently. They bring stuff out regularly that's of the same high quality all the time. Meanwhile, with this Mystery Science stuff, it's like, here's an 18-month gap that gets you only 6 episodes. What's the point of that? Like, at that point, I'm almost like, why are you even making it? It's so little content. So, it's very, very bizarre to me that it worked out this way. It's super bizarre that it turned out the way it did, because the thing is, hopefully, the Gizmoplex has made enough money, and they can just keep it open. Well, I say hopefully, you know what I mean. In terms of this story ending, hopefully, Gizmoplex made enough money, and they can just keep it open and do more episodes. The problem is, if it didn't, then either A, we're never getting an ending to this big story that they spent this whole season building up and then doing and having the ending make no sense, because it's a cliffhanger. And either A, it'll never happen, because people won't buy into it and it won't happen at all.
I hate it when someone gives away the ending.
Or, hopefully they won't ask for Kickstarter money, which again, I'm just like, is it worth it? No, it's not! I can't! This season was a piece of crap. It is absolutely terrible. There's really only one episode that I'm like, I could watch it beginning to end again and like enjoy it, and that's Munchie. There's only one other one where I'm like, okay, the riff is pretty good, and that's Sumeru, and only another one where I'm like, oh yeah, all the hosting was pretty good, and that's Gamera. That's literally it. I don't give a shit about 95% of this season. It's terrible. Emily gets almost no development. Joel spends the whole time just kissing his own ass. Kinga is a terrible mad, not even funny, and they act like she's the best mad ever. And at least if she was funny, I could be like, okay, the writing's still bad, but I like her as a character, but they don't do that. And it is just a mess. Pearl's character, wildly inconsistent. I'm not quite sure why. It's just terrible. The season as a whole is awful. I hate that they did another big cliffhanger like this. Especially one that has so many questions that I'll need answering, because I know that we will either A, never get answers. Now it did do more than I thought, as in they made it through the time bag. I didn't think that was going to happen at all. I admit that I'm wrong about that. But I don't like the way they did it, and I'm very, very scared, like, because it's all going to have to reset. Status quo is God and all that, right? It's like, they're going to go back, and it probably won't be funny, and it probably won't be interesting. So, we'll see where it goes from here. I mean, if they make new episodes, I'll be watching them, even though they literally are boring me almost to the point of tears. They're so boring. Even if you take the whole segments out, take the shitty ending out. This episode was so dull. There was nothing to it, and that's the thing. There's nothing to these riffs anymore, and I don't get it. Like, how is it this boring? But it is. But it is. So, this season is not worth it at all. I'll put it this way. As other fans and viewers, I still say rent an episode that looks interesting and give it a try. Because I don't want you guys to just go off me and then never watch it, right? I will say, though, if a close friend or family member asked me if it's worth their time, I would just say no. You guys are other big fans of the show. You guys, I don't want to just be like, don't spend your money on it or whatever. Like, because everyone should give it a chance. Like I've said, I think every show deserves a chance. Every bad season of something deserves a chance, for sure. But if you were someone personally close to me, I would say don't waste your time. Like, that's how bad it is. So again, if you haven't tried it, give it a whirl. But I cannot recommend it, though. I can't in good conscience recommend you spend $130 for the whole season like I did and then have it be this terrible. I can't. So, anyway, I gotta get ready for a stream. I haven't eaten anything and my stream is in like 20 minutes, so I gotta get out of here. But, as always, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to all my amazing Patreon supporters, all the amazing St. Jude supporters that we've had this year. All the people that have sat through all these videos and listened to me just have the same complaints over and over and over, because it's the same problems in virtually every episode. And I think it'll be the same going forward. It'll be the same going forward unless there is some major behind-the-scenes changes in the hands of who is holding this show. So, as always, though, thank y'all so much for watching. Merry belated Christmas, because I know this will be out late. But, yes, so Merry belated Christmas, and I will see you guys later.